Alright guys, what's up? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And in this one I wanted to make it a little bit of a more personal yet classic commentary. As you can see, there's no face cam this time, even though I'm freshly shaved right now and shiny and groomed, so to speak. I decided to give you guys a break on the face cam. And at the same time I give myself a break on the face cam either, because I'm not really that much of a photogenic person. I'm sure some of you can definitely agree with that. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of a break today, as well as myself. So yeah, classic gameplay commentary, which this channel was originally known for in the first place. So let's get right down to the nitty gritty. And I want to talk about next gen and the reasons as to I think we could all relate to in some way, shape, or form as well. And the reasons why I'm holding off on them. And trust me when I tell you, as the gamer that I am, gaming has been a part of my life since I'm 17 years old. I'm sorry, not 17, 7 years old, and I'm almost 36. On the 21st of this month, I am going to be 36 years old, and it's almost been 3 decades since gaming has entered into my life, and I don't really see it leaving, especially, you know, even though life tends to take over a lot of times, I really don't see gaming completely disappearing from my life. I just enjoy it way too much. It's a hobby that I truly enjoy, and it'll always be a part of my life, especially since right now at age 36, I'm starting to want things that are more relatable to my childhood in the ways that I grew up, you know, from everywhere that I want to live and to the things that I truly want and that are truly important to me and things like that. So yeah, but let's get into the main topic of discussion. Now, I am not a Sony or an Xbox fanboy. I am a gaming fanboy. Trust me, if I was blessed enough or lucky enough or fortunate enough, or however you want to put it, depending on how you look at it, if I was having, like, let's say my previous job, to where I used to, for those of you guys that haven't been here for too long, I used to serve tables for a living. Some of you guys may be in the same field, like bartending or whatnot. And it really is mind-boggling, especially now since I've been out of that profession for almost a year. It really is mind-boggling how granted you're in a pretty decent place, or even, dare I say it, like a really good place. When you're in that profession, you could actually make a without any education whatsoever, no degrees, you can actually make like a nurse's salary for a year. Now, granted, I never went, like, granted, the place that I was going to was slowly dying down before they sold the business, but it was not, it was good. It was the best money I ever made in my life when I was working there, and easier money as well. But it wasn't up to in par to nurses' salaries or whatnot. But it really is crazy how you can get pretty close to somebody who's been working years and years and years on a degree, so that way they can make pretty good money doing whatever it is that they choose to do for a living. And especially how hard it is to get into whatever they're trying to do, like the nursing scene is so competitive right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure some of you guys that watch me are in that field. And first, I want to say shout out to you guys for doing what you do, and as well as for those of you guys that legitimately care for what you do, that are not just doing it for the money. So quick shout out to you guys, and I love you guys a lot, and I respect you and anybody else in any other profession that had to go through the grind of going through their crazy amount of education and tests and exams and everything else in between that they had to go through in order to achieve the status that they are today. You know, I honestly, seriously doubt that I'm able to do that. I mean, I recently just got my 2 credits of CPUs, which was easy. It was nothing easy. It was nothing compared to the original test to get certified for the National Academy of Sports Medicine for my personal training certificate. I just recertified for another 2 years. I had to do my continued education, but that is a cakewalk compared to what I had to do for, which I grinded for actually like crazy for 6 weeks just to get the certification. So for you guys to grind for 4 years, or dare I say it even more, for degrees to get for your profession, holy shit. I mean, I don't think... I seriously would have tapped out. I drove myself nuts doing that shit, so I can't imagine what you guys went through. But I guess we all go through our things, and I guess everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. But the thing is, when you put it all together, as well as the current state of things with the pandemic and how many people have been, like, there's people that have been evicted, there's people that have lost their jobs, their cars, been evicted from their apartments. Some people have lost their homes and all that kind of stuff. People are going hungry ever since this pandemic hit the point to where it's hitting. It's been a very difficult year for many people. Like I've mentioned time and time again throughout my personal commentaries on this YouTube career of mine, or whatever you want to call it, I have said time and time again that whatever problem I ever had before, I always used to work my way out of it. But all of a sudden, what if you take the work part out? Like, what if it's like so hard to find a job. Like, it is really difficult right now with the way things are going. I know that for those of you guys that recently read this, so for those of you guys that are interested right now I'm thankful enough to not be driving myself crazy, and I'm actually, the bleeding for now at least has stopped, and I'm able to break even with my bills, thank goodness, and I don't have to deplete my savings anymore. But there is a career day that's going to be going on, I think with Amazon or whatnot, that they're having, I think, on the 23rd of this month. And they're going to be hiring like 30,000 plus new employees with a minimum payout of $15 an hour, I think, with benefits as well. So you guys might want to look into that for those of you guys that are still trying to find a job out there. It might be something that I might even look into as well. But like I said, right now I'm doing good at about 45 hours a week, and I'm breaking even, and I'm not driving myself crazy. So, and my goal is by January to hit the ground running and to basically flex my personal training muscles, or begin to flex my personal training muscles for this company that I work for currently. So, but going back to what I was saying, when you have the pandemic going on and you got all this shit going on, and if you're not as fortunate to have like a decent job or even a good job or whatnot, or a job that at least pays to where you could do what you need, you could do what you want, and at the same time you'd have leftovers. If you're not in that position, 2020 has been a really difficult year. And I think I speak for everybody that's pretty much in that same position, so myself included. So the thing is that, and let's not mention the fact that some jobs just require you to be more risky, and like even in the restaurant field, you know, with the pandemic and everything, I mean, nobody wants to catch that shit because you never know how your body's going to react and what's going to happen, knock on wood. So, but when you put everything together, and it's not just the consoles, that you're going to buy as well. Like, I don't believe in half-assing anything. Now, I do know that in life, people get away with, life is anything but fair. And if you're a grown-ass adult, and if you've been a grown-ass adult for a while, you know this for a fact. Life is anything but fair. And you might have even known that since you were a child as well, depending on how you grew up. But the thing is that there are people out there that half-ass on life, and they get away with it, and they're able to be just fine and make tons of money, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But at the same time, when it comes to getting it, I don't believe in half-assing anything, and that includes the next-gen experience. I would love to have the Xbox Series X. I would love to have the PlayStation 5, and both of them would be the disc edition, obviously. Now, granted, you know, the PS5, I'd get the disc edition. Even though you're saving $100 right off the bat, as long as a GameStop stays in business, you'd end up saving a hell of a lot more because you can just trade in your old games that you have no use for anymore. And in the long run, during the generation, while the generation lasts, which would be anywhere like maybe about 7 years, you can actually save quite a lot more than just $100. So it's a trick. It's a trick, guys. You just got to use your head. You got to think about the long run, not just, oh, this is $100 cheaper, I got to jump on it. You got to think about the long run. It's another thing that age teaches you. And speaking of age, I'm going to be 36 on the 21st of this month. Holy shit, I'm getting old. But yeah, I mean, the thing is also, it's not just about the console itself. There's also the bells and whistles. When you're going to the next gen experience, you got to have the monitor that's going to go up to maybe 4K or 1440p and 120 frames per second at least or whatnot. And then you got to have the fast response time and everything like that. So a lot of people that are going to transition into the next gen, they got to buy that as well. So you could easily be dropping $1,000 or more when it comes to everything. Now, granted, I could still trade in my Xbox One brick and my PS4 Slim, and basically get an Xbox Series S or get an Xbox Series X for a slightly lower price, but at the same time, I'd still have to dish out anywhere from, I'd probably say $400 or $500 or so, give or take, for a monitor that fits those specifications as well, so that way you can actually enjoy the experience of what you bought the next-gen consoles for. And then that doesn't even include memory for the consoles and stuff like that as well. And plus, I have this PC that my best friend gave me. It was his old PC, and I still have yet to pay for it due to the difficulties and everything else that I'm dealing with in my personal life that has made financial difficulties extremely, extremely tough. Like I said, life is anything but fair. So and that's first priority is to pay for this PC, and who knows, I might just go for the monitor and just become a PC player. So and I'd say I'd probably hold off for at least about a year before making my final decision. It makes all the sense in the world, especially since like we're still getting current gen games. So, but anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comment section what you think and if you can relate. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. This is Jack, signing off.